sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Good morning, Breakers. This is Scott Miller from Midwest Bank. When I recently joined Midwest Bank, I was immediately impressed by our exceptional service. My first customer made the switch from a large corporate bank and didn't have to wait in line or call a 1-800 number. We treated him like family. He now visits the bank just to say hello. While other banks go corporate, we stay Nebraska. Visit us at midwest.bank or drop by a branch today. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on making the most craveable chicken finger meals, getting them right every time. That's why we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, salt every fry, squeeze every lemon, and brew every ounce. We do this inside every Raising Cane's, every day, because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
When it comes to keeping your equipment running, you've got options at Landmark Implement. Whether you need premium John Deere parts or a more economical solution, A&I parts from Landmark deliver the dependable performance you can count on with cost savings up to 40%. From filters and bearings to belts and everyday repairs, A&I parts are built to work as hard as you do while helping stretch your budget further. Stop by your local Landmark Implement parts counter today or shop online anytime at shop.deere.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. The weather in the winter months is cold, windy, and as unpredictable as a tee shot on the 450-yard par 4. With top-of-the-line full-swing simulators and a PGA teaching professional, Back Nine Golf is there to help you improve your game and lower your score. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for members. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Back Nine Golf, your premier indoor golf and events destination.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Hey fellas, let's take a quick time out here. February is American Heart Month, and listen, men are the worst at getting checked out. We'll watch every stat in the league, but ignore the most important one. That's our own heart health. So here's the plan. Talk to your doctor about scheduling a quick heart screening at Advanced Medical Imaging. It's fast, it's easy, and it could save your life. Your family needs you around a lot more than your fantasy team does. Make the call, get the checkup, take care of your heart at Advanced Medical Imaging.
93.7 The Ticket Sports News go now.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your 93.7 Ticket Sports Update. I'm Connor Crewman. Another crazy night in college hoops, headlined by an insane overtime finish between 25th ranked Alabama and 20th ranked Arkansas. Alabama was able to pull it out 117 to 115, despite Arkansas point guard Darius Acuff putting up 49 points. In other games, Arizona holds off BYU 75 to 68. Missouri upsets number 19 Vanderbilt 81 to 80, and Creighton comes away with a massive upset over number 5 UConn 91 to 84. Nebraska softball and baseball are back in action tomorrow. Baseball is set to take on Louisville at 3 p.m., and softball will duke it out with 13th ranked South Carolina at noon and will follow with Hawaii at 2:30. For more sports updates, keep it tuned here at 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert. Former football national champion, speaker, and author Aaron Davis.
Pain is a teacher if you use it. And the lessons in the carnage of pain sometimes are elusive. They hide, they're stealth. The work is finding the lessons through the pain. There's always a message in the mess. Depends on if we want to get dirty and look for it.
Nick Sainert.
Driving left side is Boyer, picks up his dribble, looking for some help, decides to go up strong with it, and the layup will rattle home. Jack Riley picks the pocket of BJ Bradford up the floor to Jack Hostrider. Watch out! Lafisi in the lane, kicks it out. 3-ball, Townsley, right wing, it's good!
It's on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. It is a Thursday on The Drive, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert with you in the capital city for just a few more hours as we are joined from, in all honesty, I don't even know where he's at. Aaron Davis is joining us in St. Louis.
It is St. Louis, man.
Okay,
I think
St. Louis.
I know it's St. Louis because I can see the arc outside. I can literally look at it right outside there, man.
Oh,
shut up.
I know you've had a long night, but no hostility here on a Thursday morning.
Bro, it has been an adventure to say the least, man. It has been an adventure to say the least. Yeah, man, it was just a crazy day. And think about it, Swim. It really wasn't like it was only crazy in all the delays. It wasn't like sitting on an airplane, that type of stuff. If there's going to be delays, I'd rather just be in the terminal. And and I started when we got done with the show yesterday, me and Rudy, and shout out to Rudy. Rudy, I appreciate it, man. He did a great job pitch hitting yesterday. Did awesome. So Rudy, thank you much. Appreciate your brother. But I started getting text messages about 11 o'clock that my 1 o'clock flight was looking at a delay of about 15 minutes. I'm like, no problem. 15 minutes ain't nothing. It was supposed to board at 12:30. As I'm leaving the hotel at 11:15, about 11:15, 11:20, then it says 35 minutes delay. And I started laughing at myself because the airport was only about 8 minutes from my hotel there in Sioux Falls. And then I get there, Swim. Now, this did kind of irritate me a little bit. The parking garage was closed at the airport. And Sioux Falls Airport, I'd never flown out of Sioux Falls. It's bigger than Lincoln's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's bigger than Lincoln's airport. And they're doing some updates, too. So they got a nice size airport for a town that size, which, Swim, by the way, is not much more than Lincoln. Just throw that out there, man.
Throw it out there. Let's go ahead and let's bring up the populations again. Yeah. Falls and surrounding areas about Lincoln size. Well, Lincoln and surrounding area is about Omaha size. So
yeah, so I'm pulling up, and they were trying to fix the gate or something like that, so I had to park in a different lot. So I had a bit of a walk to get to the terminal, and it was windy like crazy.
Yeah.
The good thing is, thank God, it wasn't really cold. It was probably like 50 degrees. But if you've been up to the Dakotas, you know that when the wind blows, it blows. So I walk in and looked like I just left a funeral because my eyes were watering like crazy, man. Face was, just all sorts of wind going on. And dude, we were supposed to take off at 1.
Yeah.
We didn't take off until 2:45. So my connection flight in Minneapolis, we took off out of there, sunny, breezy, but sunny. Man, we came out of the clouds to start landing on our descent in Minneapolis. Dude, you'd have thought you're at the North Pole.
Yeah.
It's just snowing like crazy. And so I get off the plane dude, my connect. It's just only like a 25-minute flight. It's very short.
Yeah.
My next flight swim 9:51.
Oh no. Did it get delayed until 9:51?
No, that was the next flight going directly to St. Louis.
Gosh, that is brutal.
And we didn't take off swim until about 11:15. It was delayed some more.
Oh.
So I could have hopped on a plane to Detroit, but I'm like, I'm not going to mess around at something delayed in Detroit. I'm really screwed. So we took off about 11:15, 11:20. We landed in St. Louis. We were on the tarmac for a while because of traffic. We touched down in St. Louis about 12:35, 12:40. And then I got to my hotel about 1:30 this morning. And I assure you, 3:30 I was not getting up at 2 hours a day. No, I got a long day today, man. So it felt weird because I woke up at 5.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, why would I stay up right now? I need to get
why stay awake? So
Yeah.
long day today. You gotta fly back to Sioux Falls later today, right?
Yeah. I speak. And just to let you know,
I don't know if that's gonna happen, my friend.
Hey, you watch your mouth. It is gonna happen.
I got to deal with my own stuff today. I got to worry about getting out of Omaha this afternoon.
What's the weather like in Lincoln, right? In Lincoln, Omaha?
So right now it's chilly. It's cold outside. Complete 180 from what we've experienced the last week or so. But later today, shortly after 1 p.m. is when snow is supposed to begin. And Omaha, I've seen just a little bit north of Lincoln and along I-80. They're calling for, when it's all said and done, 6 to 8 inches of snow. Yeah. So we're I have a flight that leaves 3:30 today is when, or shortly after 3 is when mine departs. And I'm hoping that as long as, the snow is going to start, but hopefully it doesn't accumulate too much in about, an hour and a half or so. And we're just, once we get out of Omaha, we're chilling, which I should be fine with. But for all the folks that are trying to fly into Omaha this afternoon and evening, might have some tough ones.
Well, you're flying directly into Dallas, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you should be fine, man.
Oh, I should be fine. I'm praying for you though as you go. I don't know what it's supposed to do in Minneapolis. I don't know what it, but is if you got delayed that much yesterday, let's hope for the best today.
You know what, bro? Here's what I speak at 3:00 until 4. So it's for Uncommon Farms, and they're a farming consulting company, and actually a partnership. They don't like the word consulting; they're a partnership. So they're a one-stop shop for all that farmers may need, from accounting, to HR, to strat planning, concession planning, which is huge, obviously, in this space. And my in-laws are actually here.
Whoa!
Because they're part. What's that?
Beaties are there.
Yeah, because they use this organization, and so I speak from and swim. Just kind of letting you know, I didn't make my sound check yesterday.
Wait, the real question is, did the Beaties fly or did they drive the 6 hours?
They drove.
Oh.
They drove. Yeah, they didn't want to deal with the craziness of, just like we're dealing with. They knew if they drove, they can control it. Compared to flying, and they have to be back because my little nephew Preston's got a game Friday, I think tomorrow. In fact, it is tomorrow night, and they didn't want any hiccups or anything like that. So I'm going to see them. I do have my sound check shortly after 10:30 this morning, bro. So I'm going to have to dip out a little. Look at your eyebrows when I said that. So you're going to have to carry the mantle. We worked that out this morning.
News to me at 10:30. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I didn't want to say, hey, can you stay up until 1:45 a.m. so we can do the sound check real quick?
Can we do the sound check over Zoom by chance? No, AD. Then let's get right into this, baby. As we've got, it is a packed weekend, and obviously tomorrow we will both be on the show tomorrow from various locations. But we will
remember
you will not be on the show tomorrow from that spot. I will be with Rudy tomorrow morning, but nonetheless, we've got a lot of stuff to get to over the course of the next hour and a half or so now. And we'll start with this one where I'm actually heading this weekend, and it's to Arlington, where Nebraska baseball is getting ready for quite the weekend, quite the challenge this weekend. They're going to face off against three pretty good teams. Two of those teams are ranked in the top 20. After the weekend that Nebraska had last weekend, AD, we're going to learn a little bit about Nebraska baseball this weekend.
So I think we will, and I know last time we talked about Nebraska baseball. Obviously, they go 3-1 down in Arizona. It's going to be a lot more, different teams. Obviously Florida State, which is ranked, Louisville, which is going to be down there as well. Nick, does the pitching concern you, or is it early as heck and it's a one-off?
Well, I was actually talking to a couple of folks yesterday about this, and Austin and I were talking on the way home from Iowa City yesterday regarding the pitching and if it's solidified. I feel like Nebraska feels really good about their Friday, Saturday guys. I think that they kind of have this idea and this expectation that Ty Horn is going to consistently be their Friday night guy. It's kind of what they've been grooming him for and getting him ready for through his last couple of years, especially last season as a sophomore. I mean, they gave him the ball against LSU, against Vanderbilt. They intentionally did that for him as kind of getting ready for this type of role here in 2026. So I think that spot is pretty solidified. Saturday nights with Carson Yasa, Nebraska's going to go with them again this weekend. And then Sunday, it's kind of interesting. They're going with Gavin Blachowicz. We know that initially last week in Arizona, they were going to turn to Cooper Katsky, but instead Katsky was a little under the weather on Sunday. They were going to try to throw him on Monday, but ultimately he wasn't healthy enough. He wasn't able to go because of the illness on Monday, and so they just kind of shut him down. And he will see him, I'm sure, at some point this weekend. But they're going with Gavin Blachowicz on the mound on Sunday against Florida State. For those that don't know, they're going to face off against 15th ranked Louisville tomorrow at 3 p.m. They'll face off against Kansas State on Saturday night, which has plenty of local flavor. A couple of former Metro players on their team, and Ty Smolinski, former Husker from last season, Robbie Bolin, who transferred out of that outfield, is the starting center fielder for Kansas State. And then you have former Lincoln East Spartan AJ Avasco, who's playing a pretty big role for Kansas State this season. He did so last year as well, that are suiting it up for Kansas State. So Nebraska will play the Wildcats there on Saturday night. And then Sunday, guess what? You play one of the more historically well-known college baseball programs in the country, in Florida State, team with the most College World Series appearances in the country in history. And they're ranked 16th in the country. You round out the weekend at 2:30 down in Arlington there against the Seminoles. It is a big weekend for Nebraska, not only to potentially build their RPI ranking when those eventually come out in the early stages of March, but also to see what you got, because last weekend, AD, there were some bullpen arms like Price Bender and others that really showed up and showed out and showed some bright flashes. But then guess what? There's also some notable names from the last year's team that we didn't see last weekend in Arizona. Most notably, I would say Jalen Worthley. And so it's what kind of roles, as they continue to carve those out for some of these bullpen pieces, what kind of roles do we see kind of start to get defined here this weekend in Texas?
Swim, just the atmosphere surrounding this, like you said, there's obviously K-State is not ranked, but like you mentioned, the historic program at Florida State, which is almost the Seminoles are a mainstay, have been a mainstay in Omaha for the most part when it comes down to college CWS. Louisville, of course, has had their history. Out of these games, which one concerns you the most? Obviously, Florida State might be the one that jumps out, but for you, which one concerns you the most?
I think naturally the Florida State one is going to be one. I mean, Louisville made the College World Series a couple of times in the last 10 years and stuff. And you can't just go off of that because programs can change, alter, and everything so quickly. I think more so, I'll put a Nebraska vision and scope on this here, where Will Bolt outwardly and this program outwardly talks so often about what they need to do to host a regional. What you need to do to host a regional is take 2 of 3 this weekend. It doesn't matter against 2. It doesn't matter if it's Louisville, Kansas State, Louisville, Florida State, Kansas State, Florida State. Doesn't matter. You got to try to find a way to take 2 of 3 this weekend. And if on the off chance Nebraska is able to get 3 of 3 this weekend, hey, hey, we're going to have some fun conversations come Monday morning on the show, because there's going to be some additional expectations, and I think higher expectations, rightfully so, once they prove that, hey, they can handle their own. Nebraska baseball, they fortunately enough in their conference schedule this year, they dodged the only other ranked team in the Big Ten Conference, the UCLA Bruins, who, by the way, number 1 overall team in the country right now. They dodge them in the Big Ten Conference slate this season. And so there's a lot of opportunities for Nebraska to get some wins under their belts. After this weekend in Texas, they're going to a 3-game set down in Auburn against the Tigers there. So you talk about these next 2 weeks, these next 10 days, really teaching us a lot about Nebraska baseball. It's very accurate, because it's going to be something that we're keeping an eye on, obviously, against Louisville tomorrow. But how do they handle this moment, and how does this new shaped lineup especially handle some of the arms that they're going to see? Because we're going to see some postseason caliber arms this weekend in the 3 teams that Nebraska faces.
Absolutely. You mentioned Nebraska going down to Auburn, that 3-game series starting on the 27th. Obviously, not putting the cart before the horse. You still got Louisville tomorrow, K-State Saturday, and number 16 Florida State Sunday. But it'll be an interesting travel down south again as they play Auburn, but also those bugaboo midweek games start in March as well, opening up Tuesday, UNO at 1:30 on the 3rd, and then South Dakota State on the 4th. But for the sake of the conversation, man, it's Louisville tomorrow at 3 p.m. So are you staying for all those games?
Yeah, so I fly back Monday, so I'll do the show from Arlington on Monday morning, and then fly back in early afternoon on Monday. But here's the thing. We brought up the pitching a couple of moments ago, and this is one thing kind of like I'm harping on now, and I'm intrigued and encouraged by if potentially we saw, what we saw last weekend from a guy like Gavin Blachowicz, or even, what we expect to see from a guy like Cooper Katsky on the mound, is hopefully in those midweek games that you talk about, Nebraska just has a solid option. They haven't had a solid option in a lot of the years under Will Bolt. I mean, there's been flashes where guys like Jackson Brockett would be able to go out there and shove on a some semi-consistent basis. But that's been the biggest issue is Nebraska. You kind of know going into those midweek games, okay, we're going to have to use maybe some of our lower leverage reserve pieces out of the bullpen in that game to save your higher leverage guys for the weekend series. And that's accurate. However, as they always say, a rising tide lifts all boats, right? And so if Nebraska can get this little friendly competition going for the Sunday spot, and this is how it kind of all works together, if they can get some competition going for the Sunday starting spot on the mound, if it's going to be Cooper Katsky versus Gavin Blachowicz in this case, then who knows? Whoever falls or whoever narrowly loses that battle, guess what? That's your consistent Tuesday night guy. That's your consistent Wednesday night guy. So you kind of just shove them down the line just slightly to where they still have a very clearly defined role, and there's still a lot of value in them being a part of this pitching rotation and pitching staff, but it's also, once again, clearly defined, and you're not searching for answers to some unanswered questions each week when you play those midweek games where it's kind of all bets are off and you never know how to necessarily respond. This week, just as a programming note as well, AD, tonight. So I land in Texas shortly after 5:30 or so. At least I'm scheduled to. Nebraska baseball tonight practices 9 p.m. at Globe Life Field. So I'll be making my way to Globe Life Field, the home of the Texas Rangers. Beautiful ballpark tonight. 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Nebraska baseball practices, and so at Globe Life Field, they're the last team out of this. The 6 teams, I believe, that are playing in this Amagi Bank College Baseball Classic. Michigan is down there. Michigan's going to have to play Louisville and Florida State as well. Auburn, the team that Nebraska's playing next weekend, is playing in this little showcase as well. So we're going to get some eyes on Auburn. I'm sure Nebraska staff will be looking at that and taking some charts on those games as well. So there's a lot of really intriguing college baseball games at Globe Life Field last week. I would imagine there's a decent number of Husker fans heading down there. At Globe Life Field last week for an early season tournament, there were 20,000 fans at Globe Life Field for Arkansas versus TCU. Obviously, geographically, it's a little closer than Lincoln, but still, these are some of the better early season tournaments, and Nebraska's getting the invites to them.
Well, folks, if you want to watch this, you can tune in. You can watch on Flow College. Again, you'd have to go to Flow Sports, but it's Flow College is where that you can watch that at. I think it's what, Nick, $9.99 or $11.99 or something like that.
$19.99.
$19.99. Okay, dollars more, $18.99. Or you can listen to it as well. You can do that as well. But Flow College, if you want to watch those games, again, Louisville at 3 p.m. tomorrow. On Saturday, they take on K-State at 7 p.m. Saturday night. And then on Sunday afternoon, that's at 2:30 p.m. And of course, those games are all Central Time, being down in Kansas, where Swim will be at. And so you're probably going to hang out with CC, our friend Charlie Cologne, down there for a while.
Oh, yeah. Charlie's making his way down there as well. Shout out to Chick-fil-A South Lincoln. They are a sponsor of our coverage from Arlington, Texas this weekend, in addition to our other friends at Diode Technologies, Scissors and Scotch Lincoln, and Ben Bleicher of PRG BHHS Ambassador Realty. So thank you to all of them for their sponsorship of us making our way down, not only to Phoenix last week, where Austin was able to hang out, but also now for Arlington, Texas this weekend as well. So it's gonna be a fun weekend of baseball. There's gonna be a lot of college baseball consumed. I'm really excited for it, obviously. And, Charlie Cologne, former Husker, obviously. He's gonna be a big part of it, and who knows? Maybe tomorrow we hear Charlie Cologne on the show. Who knows what the future holds.
Awesome. Real quick before we go to break, Brad from Baldwin, good morning to you, brother. Appreciate you as well. He goes, once again, thank you all for the guys that you do at the ticket. Going to be a long day at work till midnight, but I have a ticket to keep me going, Brad. And man, have a great day. Be safe. Always appreciate the kind words, my brother. Joe B sent some pictures in. Joe B, good morning. Ice fishing in South Dakota. The drive yesterday was brutal. Nick, that picture that Joe B sent is not encouraging for me, as I'll make that trip on Friday, coming back in the evening. So
that ice fishing, that looks cold, man. I can't.
Oh,
I don't know if I can do it anymore.
Nah, I'm not. Joe B, be careful out there. Yeah. I'm just going to take your word for it, my brother.
Keep saying the pictures. I love to see the pictures, but it makes me cold just looking at you. It's supposed to be 74 degrees down in Arlington this weekend. Bundle up.
It's going to be ironic if you actually miss your flight on Monday, Swim.
Bundle up, folks. I heard it's going to be cold back in
weather delay.
Exactly. Yeah, no. All right, let's go to break. When we come back, Iowa apologizes for a situation that they allowed to happen on Tuesday. Tuesday night in Iowa City. Fred Hoiberg, does he get punished by the Big Ten Conference? We talk about it when we come back here on The Drive. 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There are so many realtors in Lincoln and Omaha, but don't get overwhelmed by all the no-names, plus all the different companies. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real Estate is your go-to option, whether buying or selling residential, luxury, leasing, investment properties, or commercial property, small or large. Ben's team offers decades of experience, unbeatable customer service, and promises to fully protect your interests throughout the entire transaction. Call 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on making the most craveable chicken finger meals, getting them right every time. That's why we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, salt every fry, squeeze every lemon, and brew every ounce. We do this inside every Raising Cane's, every day. Because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their contact us page and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966. If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
When it comes to keeping your equipment running, you've got options at Landmark Implement. Whether you need premium John Deere parts or a more economical solution, A&I Parts from Landmark deliver the dependable performance you can count on with cost savings up to 40%. From filters and bearings to belts and everyday repairs, A&I Parts are built to work as hard as you do while helping stretch your budget further. Stop by your local Landmark Implement parts counter today or shop online anytime at shop.deere.com and experience the Landmark difference.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, where your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey guys, this is former UFC fighter and mixed martial artist Anthony Lionheartstone. The Upside Bar and Lounge in South Lincoln is the go-to spot for every UFC event, prelims, and main card. There's never a cover, so make sure you get there early and stay late. Upside Bar and Lounge has daily specials, a margarita club, and a taco club. And don't forget, they just added Buzz Bowls to their menu. Learn more about upcoming events by visiting UpsideBarLNK.com and stop into their South Lincoln location for every UFC event on 27th and Pine Lake.
Good morning, Breakers. This is Scott Miller from Midwest Bank. When I recently joined Midwest Bank, I was immediately impressed by our exceptional service. My first customer made the switch from a large corporate bank and didn't have to wait in line or call a 1-800 number. We treated him like family. He now visits the bank just to say hello. While other banks go corporate, we stay Nebraska. Visit us at midwest.bank or drop by a branch today. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and right now at Koppel, we are offering big discounts on all of our inventory. 2026 GMC Terrains are leasing at $279 per month or buy for $27,690. 2026 Canyons leasing for $269 or buy for $40,980. Also right now, all new Equinox EVs and all half-ton trucks are starting at $12,000 off MSRP. These are just a few examples of some of the aggressive pricing going on right now at Koppel. Please stop on in or check us out at koppelcars.com. All these with $2,500 down with a roof credit.
Now back to the drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. It is The Drive, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert, Aaron Davis joining us live from St. Louis as he is getting ready for a good old presentation this afternoon in St. Louis. AD, I'm sure you saw this. We talked about this briefly while I was on the phone yesterday on the show, where after Nebraska fell to the Iowa Hawkeyes on Tuesday night, a student for Iowa was able to sneak through the Iowa bench and eventually get into the handshake line, where he put a phone in Fred Hoiberg's face, and Fred Hoiberg kind of pushed it out of the way. As social medias, the video started to circulate and go around. And as of yesterday, and this case is closed, we can move on from it after we get done talking about it this segment. The University of Iowa made a news release on Wednesday afternoon saying this, quote, "The University of Iowa Athletics Department implemented its on-court intrusion guidelines following last evening's Iowa versus Nebraska men's basketball game. Unfortunately, an individual gained access to the court through a restricted area, directly confronting Coach Hoiberg and putting Nebraska players, coaches, and staff in a reactive situation. We apologize for this incident and will conduct a review of our procedures and security measures to determine what adjustments may be needed to further strengthen our protocols and help prevent similar incidents in the future." The Big Ten Conference announced that there would be no punishment, no pushback against Fred Hoiberg for his actions in this. I'm sure when we hear from Fred Hoiberg later this week ahead of the Penn State game, I'm sure there'll be just some, statement, I would imagine so, of him, apologizing, saying, I appreciate the league for the understanding, but also I allowed my actions to get the best of me, something along those lines. And that's kind of the case going forward. But AD, we've seen this now. This happens across college basketball multiple times every year, to where when there are court stormings, somebody either gets hurt. There's always an incident like this. It's very, very difficult for the security folks. But also, if you watch the video of the guy sneaking onto the floor, not only is he escorted by a coach for the Iowa Hawkeyes, but he also weaves his way through two security guards that are standing about 5 feet apart from each other.
Mm-hmm. So when we've got just when Duke was upset by North Carolina a week or two ago, whatever it was, their head coach, you may have seen the clips of John Shire, former Duke player as well, but now their current head coach. He said a staff member was punched in the face during a storming after the loss to North Carolina. It's predictable. It's become extremely risky, and it's hard to control. And you know what's the thing about it, man? This is different from a social media aspect right now than it was even just 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, as far as that goes. Every moment's recorded. Every reaction becomes a headline, because if you just would have saw that snippet without knowing the whole clip with Fred, you'd have thought he just slugged a guy. Yeah, that was not the case. Fans now want viral moments, they want confrontational clips, they want shot clips, and they want content that's going to get a lot of clicks and likes, even though they're only showing maybe a second or two of the entire incident. And so I just think it's a thing to where I'm not going to blame Iowa no more than I would blame Nebraska or things. It's a thing to where they're going to have to do their best, because that wasn't just a breach of one person. That was a breach of several hundred people that went onto the court. And in the defense of each program, regardless of that Nebraska, Iowa, or someplace else, it is extremely hard to control that many people when you're outnumbered, 15-1 as far as security goes. You can form a line of people around in all yellow jackets like they've done other places, or as an institution. And like I said, I'm not saying there's a right way, but I'm saying you have to find a way to at least mitigate it a little bit, to where you're going to end up getting some people hurt pretty bad. Look at the Caitlin Clark situation in Nebraska a couple years ago, or wherever she was at, where she got hit or something like that, whether it was a flop, an Oscar award, whatever you want to call it. The bottom line is there were fans in a place they shouldn't have been at. So let me ask you, and text line, let us in. You can also join and let us know your comments on this, 402-464-5685. What needs to happen? What do institutions need to do to better get a hold on this? Nick, I think it's impossible to stop it completely, but I think with 1 billion cameras that we have, I think if you're not careful, you're going to find yourself in a pretty serious incident to where litigation is going, a lawsuit is going to be in play.
Well, I think here's the thing. I mean, a lot of it matters where student sections are located at every arena, right? It's different. It's not, you can't create a universal plan because because the layouts of arenas are different, right? So you can't create a universal plan, and I'm not saying you need that, but then it's on the responsibility of the institution. It's on the responsibility of the university, right? Nebraska went through this with Purdue. Matt Painter a couple of years ago, when Nebraska beat Purdue, Matt Painter got into the post-game press conference and was talking to us media members and was kind of complaining about, hey, look, Nebraska's got to do a way better job because I can't get my guys off the floor. We're trying to get off the floor, and we weren't able to because of everything that was going on. And that's completely understandable. Like, the team that loses, just like, they want to get off the floor just as bad as anybody out there, right? They don't want to be involved in this. So, it was really, really interesting to see how kind of it played out on Tuesday. And I'm not trying to make a mountain out of a molehill here. Like, I think that this is a conversation we could go on and on talking about how institutions and how universities need to be better. And, should court storming even be a thing in college athletics? Should it be a thing anywhere? And everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But the facts are the facts here. Like, I posted a video last night, in fact, of what I did from Carver Hawkeye was because of the way that the Iowa students were treating Price Sanford the entire night. Price Sanford, so let me lay out the picture for you. The students are behind the basket. Nebraska's bench is 10 feet away from where the Iowa students are located, right? And it created a cool atmosphere, don't get me wrong. But there's also something where Price had, when the buzzer sounded, he was on the left side of the floor. He had to walk all the way across the floor to get to the handshake line and reunite with his team. Well, going against the traffic of all the students rushing the floor, Price has to get across. Well, just for 2.5 hours, you were hearing them chant F Price Sanford nonstop the entire game. There's a lot of animosity from that student section. Alcohol can be involved. There's a lot of other things. So what I did is I videotaped Price Sanford coming off the floor because he had to walk right through the scrum of all the students that are rushing against it. And maybe there's no way to combat that, right? But I did post, and it's kind of blown up a little bit to where I give credit to Nebraska's bench and police officers, because there were police officers by the bench the entire game, number one. Number two is, as soon as that horn sounded, Connor Sejan, assistant coach Peyton Borders, Sam Hoiberg, Jamarcus Lawrence, and multiple police officers huddled around Price Sanford and basically created a human shield so that nobody could do anything. Guys were still getting in their face. They basically did exactly what they did to Fred Hoiberg to Price Sanford. Great job by Nebraska, though, of keeping their cool in that moment, because I'm sure, emotions in that moment, it would have been easy to maybe clock somebody as well. So it was just a really interesting and unfortunate situation that we're even having to discuss this right now.
Swim, it is, and I think it's. I'm looking at your Twitter. There's always some interesting comments from Iowa fans on there, aren't there?
Hey, it's been crazy. It's been wild. Well, people, they also didn't. They weren't a huge fan of my national championship trophy tweet that I had. So Iowa. So it would have worked so much better if Nebraska would have won this game. But Iowa had the Heroes Trophy on display for the game, before the game on Tuesday night.
Are you serious?
Iowa fans were taking pictures with it and stuff. They had the Heroes Trophy. And so what I did, Austin posted a picture of it, tagged me in it, and I quote tweeted it and said, wow, look, Iowa's got their national championship trophy on display tonight. And so they didn't like that. So now Iowa fans are getting into my replies. It's just the whole thing. It would have been great if I won, but I was proud of it. I thought it was clever as heck.
Hey, Swim, listen, brother, I'm going to just tell you this right now, man. I don't care how long ago it was or anything. Anytime I finally have enough.
There it is. There it is, the national champion.
I'm just saying, it's not a Heroes. It's not a conference. It's a natty. And there's more of those where that came from at the University of Nebraska. I only resort to that in the last minute thing. I tell you what, all the fans that we deal with
get their things out before I bring out the hardware.
Yeah, I just it's all in banter. But I was looking at some friends of mine accounts, but just obviously just looking at yours and some others. And Iowa, I remember that I made that one video, Go Big Red, Go Big Red.
Yeah.
Iowa fans came out and I said, hey, you guys did a great game, great defense, great special teams as always. Crickets. They want you to engage. And I'm not like I told you, I don't engage in Twitter beef, man. I'm just like,
I will say this. I have not replied to one single reply on any of the tweets that I've sent out over the last
I love it. They like the back and forth banter. Some people just like that beef.
Anyway, no, but in end all be all, no punishment. Fred Hoiberg, no issues there. Case closed on this one. Now, AD, what I will say is that this dude, Mick Cronin, who Nebraska's going to see in about a week and a half, we have to go real quick with this, but we talked about it yesterday briefly regarding Mick Cronin and the way he responds to reporters. That dude, I can't take credit for this original thought, but I do co-sign on it.
He's talking about the UCLA basketball coach.
Yes, the UCLA basketball coach. That dude talks like he knows that, hey, if I get fired, I'm going to get $22.5 million.
He's like, fire me.
Yeah, right. Tell me which door you want me to go out of. Like that is. Here is Mick Cronin after the game against Michigan State, and he was asked about the Michigan State student section.
What was your thoughts in the student section chanting Booker's name?
I could give a rat's ass about the other team's student section.
I just meant overall the way that you
I would like to give you a kudos for the worst question I've ever been asked.
I would like to give you a kudos for the worst question I've ever been asked. I can't ever imagine Fred Hoiberg, who was, I mean, I've been in some press conferences where there's been some real questions. I'm sure there's even been times where, you know, maybe Tuesday night when I asked Fred if he had an explanation got an explanation from Jeffrey the backcourt violation call. Maybe he in his mind was going, okay, what is Nick asking me right now? But I would never imagine Fred Hoiberg or 99% of other college basketball coaches going, hey, let me give you kudos for the worst question I've ever been asked.
You know, and the thing about it is, Swim, UCLA, they're not having a great year. They're not necessarily horrible, but I think Cronin, he's almost, it seems like by some of his comments at times, to your point, it's almost like fire me then.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's where I was talking to Austin about this, and this is all, you know, clearly speculation. Like, is it a guy that just wants a fresh start? Like, it never felt like it was a smooth fit for him to go from Cincinnati to UCLA. He's won games. Like, we can't deny that. We forget that UCLA made a Final Four under Mick Cronin just a couple of years ago. But yet, is it one of those things where he might just want a fresh start, but then, man, you're making yourself really easy to move past and look past when hiring because of your attitude right now. And it's just it is a fun and wild story, and I'm thankful that we don't have to worry about asking him questions until March 1st when we play out there in Westwood.
DF just let us know on the text line, on group text, as of right now, DF, I just looked at it again, 740,000 views, Swim.
Oh, yeah.
The video we got out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot. And Nick, it's really good because, dude, I'm looking at it now. There's no way they're stopping all those kids from coming on the field, on the fans.
100%. 100%.
And I like how, like you mentioned, they got around Stanford and just protected them.
Dude, it was a human shield.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So, anyway. All right, let's go to break. When we come back, history on the drive. Nick Sainert, Aaron Davis, live from St. Louis here on 93.7 The Ticket.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
It's seafood season at Amigos. Time to get that one-of-a-kind, crisp crab rangoon burrito and dip it in some sweet chili sauce. There's a crab rangoon Frenchie, too. Enjoy grilled fish, grilled shrimp, or crispy fish tacos, wrapped in warm whole wheat tortillas, topped with pico de gallo, cabbage, and Amigos Chipotle mayo sauce. From jumbo shrimp baskets or fish and chips to fish tacos, there's something for everyone. You'll love the bold, fresh flavors of seafood at Amigos. Amigos is serving up a brand new way to score the bold, fresh flavors you love with 8 affordable value meals. At $5 and $6, these meals are easy on the wallet, so treat yourself anytime. Sink into the new 3-cheese melt or taco melt, both stacked with crave-worthy flavor in every bite. There's crunchy taquito dippers, too, perfect for dunking in Amigos' famous ranch or spicy cheese. Big flavor, small price. Value meals at Amigos.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Mo's Moving is now Mo's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a chance of snow and blowing snow. It'll be windy and colder, a high of 41. Tonight, a chance of snow, any breeze, low around 18. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return with a light breeze, an afternoon high near 33. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. The weather in the winter months is cold, windy, and as unpredictable as a tee shot on the 450-yard par 4. With top-of-the-line full-swing simulators and a PGA teaching professional, Back Nine Golf is there to help you improve your game and lower your score. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for members. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Back Nine Golf, your premier indoor golf and events destination.
Hi, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear with Honda of Lincoln. Before I bring Andy on, we want to wish you joy, success, and good health in 2026. Andy, are you there?
Yes, I am, Charlie. And by the way, that was well said.
Andy, I know you want to kick off 2026 with a bang. What's going on at the dealership?
We got a lot going on here, Charlie. We have incredible savings on every new remaining 2025, New Year savings on every new 2026, special low long-term financing, and special lease rates. The biggest news is we have more than 400 new 2025 and 2026 Hondas to choose from.
How about pre-owned?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned Hondas right now with prices starting at under $10,000, and we have special low rates.
Well, maybe it's time you experience the best. The Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Hey guys, this is former UFC fighter and mixed martial artist Anthony Lionheart Smith. The Upside Bar and Lounge in South Lincoln is the go-to spot for every UFC event, prelims, and main card. There's never a cover, so make sure you get there early and stay late. Upside Bar and Lounge has daily specials, a margarita club, and a taco club. And don't forget, they just added Buzz Bowls to their menu. Learn more about upcoming events by visiting UpsideBarLNK.com and stop into their South Lincoln location for every UFC event on 27th and Pine Lake.
Hey guys, Nick Sainert here. Join me live from Arlington, Texas, this Friday through Sunday as 93.7 The Ticket covers Husker baseball's appearance in the Amagi Bank College Baseball Series. I'll have pregame and postgame videos on the Ticket's social media pages, as well as commentary throughout Friday's 3 p.m. game versus Louisville, Saturday's 7 p.m. game against Kansas State, and Sunday's 2:30 p.m. game against Florida State. Our coverage from Arlington is sponsored by Diode Technologies, Ben Bleicher of Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador, Scissors and Scotch Lincoln, and Chick-fil-A South Point Pavilions.
Bundle up, bring your crew, and make this winter one for the books with Bachfest on Saturday, February 21st at Beer House. Enjoy winter brews that will tangle with your taste buds polka dancing, games like Hammerschlagen and Stein Stamina, and more. Bach beer will be flowing and sausages and pretzels will be available for purchase. Doors open at 11 a.m. and the party goes outside until 6 p.m. before moving inside. VIP tickets are $75, but just $10 gets you in the door. Buy your tickets today at beerhousene.com for Bachfest on Saturday, February 21st.
Way out there where the sun comes up under the big red sky. I do life the way I love, with family by my side. I feel home with me, no matter where I go.
Proud of where we're from, excited for where we're going. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Now back to the drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainer on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. Is the Drive 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Quick segment here as we round out the 9 o'clock hour. As always, you can chime into the show. We'd love you to hear from you. 402-464-5685, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Allo Cable Channel 961. AD, what you got for history on this fine Thursday morning?
The mighty Mississippi, the mighty Mississippi, mighty Mississippi River. There you go. I'm looking at the Mississippi River right now, so I just came from my soul.
I was going to say, did you expect to say that, or is that something?
It just kind of came from the depths.
I think sometimes we both forget we're on live radio, and I wonder if people turn that on and go, hold on now. What am I listening to right now?
It is kind of cool though. I see the fog's lifting off of the Mississippi. You see the big barges going up and down the Mississippi. When I woke up this morning, in fact, I sent it to our group text. I couldn't see the arc. I mean, it's literally across street. I couldn't see it. Now you see the fog lifting. So it's actually pretty cool. I always like watching up and down, but you got to be careful in the Lou, man. St. Louis, you got to watch your back.
I've heard. I've never been. I've been to the St. Louis airport. Obviously, I've never been on the ground in St. Louis.
Yeah, they've got some areas, man. So the downtown areas had some. They've had some issues in the past. I would say at least after COVID really hurt it pretty bad. But nevertheless, man, we got to make sure. I won't forget our good friend Jack Russell, who's been a long time and well-respected Farm Bureau representative since 1999. Jack can help protect your home, your vehicle, your family, even your future. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100 or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or in Seward and learn how Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services can help you. On the text line, I had a history information, but the one on the text line, Swim, I love this one by unknown texter 2211. Nick, you would have been too young to remember this because there's a former Nebraska player, and I remember this unknown texter that sent this in, so appreciate it, unknown texter 2211. Swim, I mean, it was not, he shouldn't have done it, but I get it. A Nebraska cornerback and holder, Kellen Houston, was a player. He dropped a Missouri fan following Nebraska's 41-24 loss in Columbia. So you have to look it up, man. It was October 2003. He punched the 21-year-old fan. Because it was at Ferret Field, there was hundreds of fans just storming the field, but he dropped him, and you see it clear as day. Whop! But it did cost him because he ended up being suspended for the following Texas A&M game. Pled guilty to a charge of peace, charge of peace by disturbing by fighting. Wasn't condoned by coach and teammates and players, but at the same time, the dude came up. I mean, just rushing came up right in his face. He didn't know what he was doing. As a natural reaction was he just swung. Similar, and obviously not afraid to not connect on this dude, but Kellen Houston did connect on him and dropped him.
Over the last 30 seconds, we got two of them. Axel Foley. That's exactly what just happened to me. I turned the car on and thought, what the hell am I hearing right now? Thunder Knock Collins was literally just hopped in the truck and I heard 80s singing. Thought I was in second grade. Watching Buck Finnegan trying not to fall asleep. Hey, that's what I'm saying. We forget. We get on this we get obsessed with this video camera that's in front of us and that we're on camera watching on the screen. We forget that, radio is still the pure avenue for our listeners. They have no idea what's going on.
Swim, you think I just opened my keynote? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Aaron Davis. Mighty Mississippi. Like, what the hell?
This we paid $100,000 for, right?
Yeah, right.
Do we put up in the presidential suite in St. Louis?
Oh man!
How many refrigerators does that room have?
Dude, I haven't been walking around this room much, man. Swim, it's tough, man.
How many refrigerators does that room have?
Dude, it's one fridge.
Okay.
You got to remember, dude. You got to remember, this does not come out of my pocket.
That's what I'm saying. How many? Okay, exactly. How many?
It does not come out of my pocket, man. I will say this, dude. I'm going to do my sound check. I'm going to get a quick workout in, like a real quick, and probably just a treadmill, just walking on there, and then have lunch with the clients. No, I speak from 3 to 4. My flight's at 5:45.
Oh,
it's 18 minutes to
okay.
get to the airport. So the flight will board at 5:10 is what I saw. So the moment I'm done, they already know I'm hitting the doors to get into the Uber and get to the airport, which is not far from down here. It's like 17 minutes, give or take. So it's going to be a crazy day. And I'll get into Sioux Falls, knock on the table at 10:50 tonight. But I only have from the airport to the my hotel there is only literally 8 minutes away. So, and then tomorrow's a full one. So, man, it's a full day, man. It's a full day. Hey, any updates on your weather? We'll talk about when we come back. Come back. Want to get some updates on yours.
I just wanted to make sure. So Jay Foreman just texted us and said that I needed to make sure that I let you finish your point. So I just wanted to. The reason I wasn't kind of chiming in there, I just wanted to make sure you were completely done with your sentence. Jay Foreman texted the question. He's a year older. He's a year wiser. Okay.
He's part of the 50 club now, man.
Jay, he texted and said that I just needed to let you finish your point earlier in the show. And so now I
appreciate it, big little bro.
I wanted to make sure that I let you finish your sentence there before I chimed in. But anyway,
I appreciate that.
10 o'clock hour coming up next. It's the AD here with you on 93.7.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their contact us page, and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Bundle up, bring your crew, and make this winter one for the books with Bachfest on Saturday, February 21st at Beer House. Enjoy winter brews that will tangle with your taste buds, polka dancing, games like Hammerschlagen and Stein Stamina, and more. Bach beer will be flowing and sausages and pretzels will be available for purchase. Doors open at 11 a.m. and the party goes outside until 6 p.m. before moving inside. VIP tickets are $75, but just $10 gets you in the door. Buy your tickets today at beerhousene.com for Bachfest on Saturday, February 21st.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on making the most craveable chicken finger meals, getting them right every time. That's why we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, salt every fry, squeeze every lemon, and brew every ounce. We do this inside every Raising Cane's, every day. Because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine. There are so many realtors in Lincoln and Omaha, but don't get overwhelmed by all the no-names, plus all the different companies. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real Estate is your go-to option, whether buying or selling residential, luxury, leasing, investment properties, or commercial property, small or large. Ben's team offers decades of experience, unbeatable customer service, and promises to fully protect your interests throughout the entire transaction. Call 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and right now at Koppel, we are offering big discounts on all of our inventory. 2026 GMC Terrains are leasing at $279 per month or buy for $27,690. 2026 Canyon is leasing for $269 or buy for $40,980. Also right now, all new Equinox EVs and all half-ton trucks are starting at $12,000 off MSRP. These are just a few examples of some of the aggressive pricing going on right now at Koppel. Please stop on in or check us out at koppelcars.com. All leases with $2,500 down with a roof credit.
Hey guys, Nick Sainert here. Join me live from Arlington, Texas, this Friday through Sunday as 93.7 The Ticket covers Husker baseball's appearance in the Amagi Bank College Baseball Series. I'll have pregame and postgame videos on the Ticket's social media pages, as well as commentary throughout Friday's 3 p.m. game versus Louisville, Saturday's 7 p.m. game against Kansas State, and Sunday's 2:30 p.m. game against Florida State. Our coverage from Arlington is sponsored by Diode Technologies, Ben Bleicher of Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador, Scissors and Scotch Lincoln, and Chick-fil-A South Point Pavilions.
Welcome to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert. Former football national champion, speaker, and author Aaron Davis.
Pain is a teacher if you use it. And the lessons in the carnage of pain sometimes are elusive. They hide, they're stealth. The work is finding the lessons through the pain. There's always a message in the mess. Depends on if we want to get dirty and look for it.
Nick Sainert.
Driving left side is Boyer, picks up his dribble, looking for some help, decides to go up strong with it, and the layup will rattle home. Jack Riley picks the pocket of B.J. Bradford up the floor to Jack Hostreiter. Watch out! Mafisi in the lane, kicks it out. 3-ball, Townsley, right wing, it's good.
It's on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back here on The Drive, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert, Aaron Davis alongside from St. Louis, Missouri, as AD will not be with us tomorrow. He'll be returning on Monday. And we are getting ready for a loaded weekend on the calendar. But, AD, I wanted to talk to you about this before you got to cut out here in about 20 minutes or so. The Big Ten basketball situation right now, because Nebraska, we know they will be getting ready for Penn State this Saturday, the 21st. They will play Penn State at home. And then next week, they play the Maryland Terrapins, led by head coach Buzz Williams in his first year with the Terrapins after they hired him away from Texas A&M in the offseason. AD, last night, looking around the Big Ten basketball league, Rutgers wins at Penn State by 13 points. Northwestern at home beat Maryland 78-74. They used a big 13-0 run in the later stages of the second half to kind of start pulling away from the Terps last night. Now, obviously, you weren't able to watch any of these games, but this goes to show, AD, and something that Austin and I talked a lot about yesterday on the air was Nebraska needs to come out with a little bit of an edge and mentality and dominate Penn State tomorrow, or excuse me, on Saturday.
They do. You know, I was at the airport last night talking to my buddy Akam Udofia, you know, the one about he was giving me and Rudy a hard time about talking about Northwestern. They're just not up to par. So we'll have a good banter about it. But with all due seriousness, he brought up a great point. Hold on.
Oh, we had you. We had you for a second.
How about now?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. I got these headphones and I don't know how to work them. So they did something different. Who knows? Who knows? But nevertheless, Nebraska, and to your point, you know, Nebraska should not have any problem with neither Rutgers, with Maryland or Penn State.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that concerns me, man, in that those past 3 games, me and Rudy talked about this yesterday, and I know I sound like a broken record, but it's the truth. They came out flat in their past 3 games, 2 of which cost them. So they obviously they're going 1-2, playing Penn State. Swim, this team has to understand, and I'm not saying they don't understand, but your play has to match your mindset. And we haven't seen that with Nebraska. Well, actually, we have seen that because they've came out lackadaisical mentally and they have found themselves in trouble. And against your better teams, you can't do that. Now, granted, should they have any problems with Penn State on Saturday? No, they shouldn't. But Swim, they have to understand they are now the hunted. Mm-hmm. Every team in the Storm, what you have over 700, literally, and I think it's very impressive, Swim. We joke around, but seriously, that was great footage you captured. Over 740,000 people captured. I've watched that video you posted. When did you ever think you would think Nebraska would be the game that people storm the court? Yeah.
You're
Nebraska has to play with that edge to understand Penn State's going to come in with swing with everything they got. Maryland is going to swing with everything they've got. And it's something that that forum, the Hall of Fame, would tell you as well. Coach Osborne would often remind us, guys, when teams come in here, you have to come out and put them out of their misery right away, because for some of these teams, you are their conference championship. You are their playoffs. You are their national championship game. So you have to come out here and punch them in the mouth and let them know early you don't have a chance. We haven't seen, and Nick, you mentioned this, we haven't seen really a full game by Nebraska, in particular when they're playing, and this is just the bottom line, when they're playing inferior rosters. Nebraska has to come out immediately and impose their will and not play with their food against teams like this, man.
You're absolutely right. Now, here's the other thing that I will also add, and this is by no means gospel, right? And there's been moments where it's been flawed, and it's obviously not panned out the way that we expected it to with some of these games. Most notably, I'd say, I think Nebraska fans felt pretty decent about Nebraska's chances going into the Purdue game and going into the Iowa game as well, right? However, I've brought up Bart Torvik before on our show and stuff, in where he uses a lot of the analytical stuff to predict the outcome, not only of Nebraska's season, but also of individual games. Nebraska right now, according to Bart Torvik, is projected to win Saturday's game against Penn State by a score of 85-63. 22 points. Just analytically speaking, Nebraska is 22 points better than Penn State. Now, will Nebraska win by 20? Who knows, right? They might win by 30. We might see Nebraska come out with the mentality that we haven't seen since they played a team like Wisconsin and won 90-60, or a team like Creighton the game before that, where they won 71-50. We have yet to see in a while Nebraska have that type of mentality for the full 40 minutes. The last time really we saw that, I would say even Washington, that Washington and Oregon game was kind of the last time that I think we kind of saw Nebraska play complete basketball. Obviously, they beat Oregon by 35 points, 90-55. They beat Washington by 10, 76-66. These are two big ones at home that you're going to have before you go on your West Coast trip. You face off against USC next Saturday, and then you face off against UCLA the following Tuesday. And you look at the schedule before you come home against Iowa to round out the season on March 8th. Guess what, man? You're going to have you have a chance to maybe rattle off a couple of wins here. You feel completely different about this thing if Nebraska goes into the Big Ten tournament with a 20. What would that be? 20. What would it be? 27-4 record, essentially.
Something like that. Yeah.
27-4 record, rather than if they drop two of them on the road at USC and UCLA.
Well, assuming just last night, I was going to try to pull that game up and watch it from the airport. I thought initially might be a decent game, the Illinois versus USC. Man, Illinois beat them. They hung a hundo on them, beat them by like 35 or 36, 101, 66 or 67. They absolutely destroyed USC. So that, to your point, Swim, that West Coast swing is definitely gettable. Nebraska's remaining games. So like I said, I to your point, they cannot play with their food in these games, man. I think Iowa was I don't want to say wake up call, because again, that was a team that was 18-6 or 18-7. It was at home. You throw all the theatrics and the history, etc. Nebraska knows they've got to come and take care of business against these teams, because you do not want to be figured out with Penn State. I mean, let's just call it what it is. Penn State and Maryland are not very good basketball teams this year.
Yeah, I really like what Buzz Williams might be able to do in the future for Maryland. But when you look at this season specifically, you feel like Nebraska should have a pretty good path to beating both of these teams at home. One thing to note about that, you mentioned USC lost 101-65 to Illinois at home yesterday. First off, the crowd was there was probably more Illinois fans. I follow a couple of Illinois beat writers that I know on social media. There were more Illinois fans there than at times potentially USC fans, until it started to fill up halfway through the first half. Then they walked in, they saw the scoreboard, and they said, well, maybe we should walk right out. In addition to that, USC is a team that's been absolutely impeded with injuries all season long. For the third consecutive game, their star transfer, Chad Baker-Mazzara, who transferred from Auburn last year to USC, missed his third consecutive game with a strained knee injury. They also had a freshman guard who was playing through an illness last night as well. So they were depleted, right? But that's no excuse for a 101-65 loss. Even in the Big Ten, between Michigan, who's the best team in the conference, and Penn State, who might be the worst team in the conference, no team is 40 points better than another team in this conference. It's just, give credit to Illinois, because they went on the road, they took care of business. They're already back in Champaign, happier than ever, and they're ready to go for the rest of the way. So it's one of those things that I think, when you look at Nebraska, take care of business this Saturday. That's step one. It's easy for us, and we can sit here and talk behind these microphones, AD, about, hey, this is what you got on the horizon. But at the end of the day, go out, dominate tomorrow, or dominate Saturday, if I can get my days straight, dominate Saturday, and then just figure out a way to move that on to Maryland and just continue to stack wins, because Nebraska, losers of 4 of their last 6, they haven't really necessarily been able to stack many wins as of late.
Nick, I was thinking about this last night. It would be awfully disappointing. Do I see this happening? No, but it'd be awfully disappointing to see Nebraska drop a few of these games that they should actually just boat race these teams coming in. And I look at Iowa personally as being a good thing, because they know who's coming back to Nebraska. They know they're going to see. They're going to see Iowa again. I think it's the 8th.
Yep, March 8th.
They see them. They know they see them again. And Swim, you know what? Sometimes, and I'm not saying Nebraska was doing this, because they've done a great job of playing and not doing it, reading their own clippings, because they've never been there before. I think the Iowa game could be, the Iowa loss could have been the very thing Nebraska needed for this entering in the tournament play, man. I bet they know they came out slow. They know they did not play their style of basketball. Credit Iowa from the tip. until the last buzzer with just tenacious defense, the intensity. Nebraska did not match that. If Nebraska wasn't capable of matching that swim, I'd be worried. I'm not concerned because Nebraska can match that intensity. They are talented, more talented as far as that goes. I mean, obviously, Iowa's got Sturgis and Banks, but Nebraska, I can go on and on. We know who those guys are. I think this really could have been a blessing in disguise. You hate losing. But it's what you do with the loss, and I think with Coach Hoiberg and his staff, these guys are going to use that. Say, you know what? Even the post game festivities, I think it just left a very bad taste in their mouths, knowing we let one get away because we didn't freaking show up and match the intensity.
Sure. This is where I will also add, though, that there's maybe a little bit of concern for Nebraska because they lost the last couple of games. Like Illinois, you should have been able to respond with, that mentality that you're talking about, that you're looking for right now. Mm-hmm. Same with after Purdue. Think about how gross of a taste that's got to be in your mouth to have, man, if hold on. I have bless me. If for Purdue, if you just start out halfway better, a sliver better, and it's maybe 14-7 instead of 14-1. If you're able to find the bottom of the bucket one or two more times against Purdue, maybe things go differently. Maybe if you don't blow 3 layups in the first half against Iowa, things end differently, right? There's so many what ifs, and that's got to leave such a bad taste in your mouth. Like you're saying, AD, that's where it would just be a collective breath of fresh air and a sigh of relief, I think, for Husker basketball fans to see this team respond in an overly positive way, because we have yet to see it consistently. And so that is I think the one, if you were to ask, if you were to poll 100 Husker basketball fans, the ones that have watched it every game this season, they watch intently and they kind of tune into the commentary of it. I would imagine that some of the concern that Husker basketball fans have right now, if not the number one concern, is sure, depth is a thing, right? Other pieces, there's other conversations. The overarching kind of mentality and concern right now, I think, is how can they respond after adversity? Because for a team that's so veteran led and has so much poise, because all of that still stays true, because we saw that in the early stages of the year. We want to see that now, especially as the regular season comes to a close.
Right. Yeah, it's like I said, we've got just a full plate of Husker athletics coming up. Obviously, and also not obviously, I want to say also the women play Oregon tonight. Swim. This is I know they've been on a skid, and they need a win bad. As far as I go, the Husker ladies basketball team. So it's going to be imperative for them. So real quick before we go to break, man, do you think Nebraska? What do you think of their chances tonight, man?
It's an opportunity to get one, and you need one in the worst way. You got to try to dig deep and find a way to grab a victory. If you're Nebraska women's basketball against Oregon in Eugene this evening, you got to find a way, because things are dwindling quickly, and they're getting taken out of your grasp real quickly here. You got to find a way to get something on the board in the win column tonight against Oregon. I hope they do it. I really do, because I want to see this team play in March. And the farther that they slide, the less likely that is, especially with no quad one victories to hang their hat on.
That game will be on Big Ten Plus out in Eugene, Oregon. Oregon is 18-9, and tonight's matchup. So that is going to be a game to where I know we've been saying this a lot, but a 16-10 Nebraska win, a 16-10 Nebraska record with no quad one wins going into Eugene will be a tough task. And so it's going to come down to a thing to where they just got to say, listen, man, it's DEFCON 5 right now. We are literally running out of opportunities. So hopefully Coach Williams and company can take care of business out on the West Coast tonight. Swim, I'm going to go sing The Mighty Mississippi on a mic check.
Yes, it is. Appreciate you joining me. Hey, safe travels. I know you and I will text back and forth throughout the course of the day today, but very, very safe travels back to the wonderful city of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And you will not be with us tomorrow, but you'll be back on Monday.
A big monument, man. Safe travels to you as well. Me going back to Sioux Falls, I'll make the population. There'll be 4 brothers in the town of Sioux Falls now.
Anyway, there he is, Aaron Davis, signing off from St. Louis. AD, have a good talk today, my friend. We'll see you.
Hey, thank you, brother. Safe travels, man. Love you, bro.
We will be back on the drive here in just a couple of minutes. When we come back, guess what starts today? Nebraska football and Matt Rule press conferences. Matt Rule is going to speak to the media if he hasn't already started. He was scheduled to speak to the media at 10 a.m. I will keep you updated throughout that as we progress through the next 30 minutes of the show. We only got 30 minutes left in the program or so. But when we come back, as spring ball is right around the corner, starting on Saturday, what are your biggest questions? What are your biggest questions for Nebraska football heading into the spring? We can talk big picture. We can talk small picture. We can talk record. What does it need to be? What do you think it's going to be? Everything is on the table as we come back here on the drive. AD had to bounce for the sound check. When we come back, I will hang out with you guys. Who knows? Somebody might join me. A special guest, Doss Norman, might be crawling through the studio doors. We'll find out here at 10:30 a.m. But as we go to break now, once again, Nebraska football biggest spring questions coming up next here. It's the Drive 93.7 The Ticket. Nick Sainer with you here on the Ticket. Excuse me.
Winter is just around the corner. Is your vehicle ready? Don't get left out in the cold. At A1 Automotive, we prep your car for whatever winter throws your way here in Nebraska. For battery checks, to brake inspections, tires, heaters, whatever your car needs to keep you and your family safe on the road, we've got you covered. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Hi, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear with Honda of Lincoln. Before I bring Andy on, we want to wish you joy, success, and good health in 2026. Andy, are you there?
Yes, I am, Charlie. And by the way, that was well said.
Andy, I know you want to kick off 2026 with a bang. What's going on at the dealership?
We got a lot going on here, Charlie. We have incredible savings on every new remaining 2025, New Year's savings on every new 2026, special low long-term financing, and special lease rates. The biggest news is we have more than 400 new 2025 and 2026 Hondas to choose from.
How about pre-owned?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned Hondas right now with prices starting at under $10,000, and we have special low rates.
Well, maybe it's time you experience the best. The Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Bring your crew, bring your school colors, and bring the noise. On February 22nd, Love Nebraska hosts Love Madison at Baxter Arena for College Night with first serve at 5 p.m. It's student energy meets big match intensity, diving saves, heavy swings, and rallies that refuse to end. Whether you're coming straight from campus or making it a full night out, this is your chance to see Nebraska's pros defend the home court. College Night, Madison in town, Sunday at 5. Lock in your seats now at lovneb.com/tickets.
A new year means it's time to try new things. If you haven't tried Führer's cheese spread yet, the time is now. For the days you don't want to go to the gym, don't worry. Führer's cheese spread is there to cheer you up. And for the days you do get to the gym, why not celebrate when you get back with the best dip around? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Führer's cheese spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
Get ready, Lincoln. It's a huge weekend at the Icebox. The Lincoln Stars are back home Friday and Saturday, taking on their conference rival Fargo Force in a critical push in the playoffs. Both nights, enjoy $8 vodka Red Bulls while you cheer on the Stars as they battle for postseason positioning. Saturday's game is being presented by Eagle Raceway, so expect even more high-octane excitement. The puck drops at 7 o'clock on Friday and 6 o'clock on Saturday. Don't miss your chance to be part of the push for the playoff energy. Secure your seats now at LincolnStars.com and be there when it matters most.
MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their contact us page and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a chance of snow and blowing snow. Be windy and colder, a high of 41. Tonight, a chance of snow, any breeze, low around 18. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return with a light breeze, an afternoon high near 33. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Bundle up, bring your crew, and make this winter one for the books with Bachfest on Saturday, February 21st at Beer House. Enjoy winter brews that will tangle with your taste buds, polka dancing, games like Hammerschlagen and Stein Stamina, and more. Bach beer will be flowing, and sausages and pretzels will be available for purchase. Doors open at 11 a.m. and the party goes outside until 6 p.m. before moving inside. VIP tickets are $75, but just $10 gets you in the door. Buy your tickets today at beerhousene.com for Bachfest on Saturday, February 21st.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Are you looking for something different for lunch or dinner in Lincoln? Big 8 is now open at 1226 P Street, serving seafood boils and Asian cuisine. Get your hands messy with fresh, flavorful seafood boils, hot, cold, and made to share. Or enjoy classic Chinese and Asian dishes, perfect for lunch, dinner, or a night out with friends and family. Big flavors, generous portions, and a brand new dining experience. Big 8, now open in Lincoln.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. It is The Drive, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Now, I got to be honest with you here. I'm a little, I'm just flustered. Not because I'm joined by a special guest. It's a matter of who the special guest is. Jake Sorensen is hanging out with me at 10:34 on a Thursday. Jake, hello.
I tend to have that effect on people, Nick. Special guests.
Well, here's
not sure what to think.
Don't read too much into it. The only thing that I say is I said it right before I came on, or we came back from commercial. Is you're here on my show. I'm never on with you on your show.
Well, you show up at 8:45 in the
No,
morning.
don't be blaming it on
the
me.
The show is ending, so I guess if you want to come on for the last 3 minutes, you can come on next time, Nick. But
that's crazy.
It's all about when you show up to work.
I don't think you also mean that.
I appreciate you filling in when I'm gone, which will be in the first couple days of March. Also,
That is true.
And when I was sick in late January, those are rare occasions, as we know.
The
But if you showed up before 8:45, you might come on the show once.
Well, hold on.
I can't change your morning routine if you don't want to change it up.
I happily will change my morning routine. I stop often at Bagels and Joe, friend of the station.
You do.
That's why I show up
And
at
you
8:45.
fail to bring food ever from there either.
I didn't know if you guys like it.
We like food.
We did have a text earlier in the show from Matt. I gotta go find it. He said, Nick, I got my inner fat kid on this morning. I followed your advice and got the Asiago bagel with the garlic parm cream cheese. Solid recommendation. My new favorite from Bagels and Joe. So there you go. Shout out to Bagels.
That's your go-to. Is that one?
Well, yeah, I do the sausage, egg, and cheese on an Asiago bagel. I don't know if Matt, if you're listening, let me know if you got the sausage, egg, and cheese because you're missing a whole world if you didn't.
I want to pause for a second and say one more thing, Nick Swim.
Okay.
Is that not only do you show up at 8:45, but oftentimes you do show up at that time with this delicious sandwich.
Yeah.
That me and Sip and Bill are probably famished at that time for food. And we're just seeing you down this incredible looking bagel sandwich, and it always looks incredible. And I'm sure it does taste good. I've had it before myself, but it
That's
just
true.
adds to the fact that I'm not eating it and you are, and it's painful.
That's
bothersome.
That's funny. Big Bird says Nick hyped it up like it was an unfamiliar special guest, but it's just Jake. I do enjoy Jake. Just a big letdown. Thanks to Nick.
Come on, Big Bird. He's doing fitness in the Gulf Shores right now.
There it is.
Shout out to Gulf Shores. Great spot.
Yeah. Dan in South Lincoln says, can you two just bicker through the Beatrice Pius rivalry for the next hour? Well, we don't have a full hour.
Wouldn't have to because it's been just owned by Beatrice.
Yeah.
At least in my time it was. We never lost to Pius in anything. Any sport, basketball, golf, football.
See, and we never lost to
tennis.
Beatrice in my time.
Well, things change. You know, I couldn't be there for more than 4 years.
I can't imagine.
My era of high school was Pius was just down here. Beatrice is up here, like the big boys.
You know, I don't know if I know. What sport did you play?
I played golf and tennis.
That's what I thought. Okay. Country
And
club.
Pius was pretty good at golf and tennis.
They were.
They may have been our level or maybe a little bit better, but the other sports, football, not even close.
So all the sports that
Dumb.
you didn't play.
We were competitive in those sports.
Okay.
Pius was really
so
good.
you played in the non-competitive sports.
No, I said we were competitive. We weren't.
Okay.
We didn't win state by any means in those sports,
Sure.
but you know, basketball, not even close. Jim Weeks' teams blew out Pius. Football, you know the story. You know what happened there.
Yeah.
Just dominance. I mean, sheer and utter dominance, Nick.
It's fine.
The Bolts were just a thing of just a team that existed and barely.
It's fine. I have a connection to the Pius baseball program. That's all that matters.
We had baseball figured out too.
Multiple national championships in the 2010s. You're fine. So anyway, the reason that what we were going to talk about, and we have a couple of texts about it as well. Questions heading into spring ball. I'm sure you guys have briefly mentioned this. Spring ball starting much earlier than it usually does. It officially starts Saturday, February 21st. Matt Rule is currently speaking to the media. We will have audio throughout the next couple of hours and couple of shows from Matt Rule's press conference. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But Jake, I guess if I were to ask you what your biggest question or curiosity is going into spring ball in a season where there's a lot on the line, it's a tough schedule. We know all of that. What is one thing that stands out to you?
Well, there's a lot. I mean, I would say this, Nick. This is a side story. I thought it was interesting that yesterday Brett McMurphy of On3 put out his way too early bowl projections, and he had Nebraska in the Music City Bowl, which is about an 8 or 9 win team. Which I don't think anybody locally here expects that.
Yeah,
nobody at the station does really. I don't think so.
No.
That's one person's perspective, which I thought was interesting. But where do you start? I mean, defensive line was a problem last year. It's a problem this year. I don't think they've resolved that issue. Could be even a bigger question than last year.
Very.
Quarterback, I like Calandria, but I also wonder. I asked to Sean Callan on the show yesterday. He thinks it won't be a competition at quarterback, which on paper, Mountain West Player of the Year, you think that makes sense, but this is the same guy that in a game against Ohio, who you do play off the bat, struggled in the bowl game. He played in the bowl. He lost 10-3, something like that. And TJ Lateef stuck around to probably compete for a starting spot. Daniel Kalen probably came back to potentially start. So I don't know if I'd like to hear if he says that Anthony is the starter unless something changes, or if he thinks it's going to be a competition. But defensive line, quarterback, and another one is Emmett Johnson's gone. What do you have at running back? Mekhi Nelson.
You did nothing to replace him.
You didn't upgrade in the portal.
Yeah.
Now
you didn't even fill the void. No, like that's
you kept the room as is minus the All-American.
Yeah, that is the biggest flashing red light, I think, for me, Jake, to where it wasn't even them trying to fill the void. It's just you went on without him, which it tells us through their actions, right? Like this is, show me who you are. It tells us that they don't value a traditional running back. And in this offense going forward, they're not going to value a traditional running back, which is fine. But after the season that Emmett Johnson just had, you better hope that this new approach works, or that Mekhi Nelson hits, or that Quentin Ives is finally able to stay healthy.
Well, let's not forget, though, Nick, in terms of why you can have some optimism and belief there, is that Emmett Johnson did not enter last year as a bona fide star. He was the backup to Dowdell, who went to Kentucky. Emmett was thought to be starting running back. We'll see how it goes by committee. And he ends up having the breakout year. So shout out to E.J. Barthel for that group for making him exceptional. But maybe Mekhi Nelson is the guy. Maybe, they have something behind that we don't know about that can surprise. That's why it's so important to get all these reps in spring and the offseason, because we don't get to watch practice on a daily basis. We don't know why they believe in that room to not upgrade it, because maybe we'll be surprised again like we were with Emmett Johnson and his success.
And not to say that there can't be guys that show up and actually, are larger parts of this thing than we expect, right? And we might not find that out in spring ball. It might wait till fall camp or through the summer to show those things. I always kind of lean towards hesitancy when we hear things in spring ball about certain guys, because we've heard time and time again regarding certain players, and this is even predating Matt Rule, that have had incredible springs. AJ Rollins is those types of guys that they're like, oh yeah, this is a guy that in 3 months when we're playing games is going to play a pretty big role in this, and then doesn't, right? Nebraska needs to hit on some guys this upcoming season. Spring ball starts Saturday, and there's a lot of questions. We're getting off the text line 464-5685 is talking about the trenches. How are the trenches improved from last year to this year? I think you brought in and you spent a lot of money on the offensive line, but just because you spend it doesn't mean that it's instant improvements. So Jeep Wade has his hands full. I don't know. I think if you ask a lot of people, Jake, Rob Orich is the coach here that everybody's kind of, and I'm excited to hear from him today for our first time, essentially. How does he assess this thing? Because we sat there in the Las Vegas Bowl up in that press box together, and we both agreed that, man, he's got his hands full going into this next year.
And he brings in a couple, brings in Owen Chambliss, which is a great player at the Mountain West, and brings in McDougal, the safety, who is highly sought after. So I think those are guys you like, and I think he's going to be a good DC here. I like what Orange brings, and again, he's got Midwest ties going back to South Dakota a couple years ago, and there's a lot of pessimism with him, Nick, that he's not been a Big Ten guy, and I get that. At the same time, though, he's been very successful and effective where he's been. So why do we just assume, hey, because he's got no Big Ten ties, this will be a disaster? I think he will be successful.
Well, can part of that pessimism come from the head coach?
Sure.
I mean, there's been 9 full-time assistants that you've had to replace in a very short amount of time.
Absolutely. But in terms of the picture of Arch and what he's done, I mean, they were a top 5 defense in the country this year at San Diego State. Not a great conference, but not a horrible conference either.
For what it's worth, I actually am encouraged by Rob Orich. I think a lot of the pessimism from Husker fans, though, comes from because, man, I mean, just a couple of weeks ago, after 16 days on the job, you lose your safeties coach. You're having to replace multiple full-time assistants late in the cycle. You're losing recruits. You're losing battles for some transfer portal targets. And this comes just a couple of months after Nebraska says that they have the resources and money to go out and get whoever they want, essentially. This isn't me questioning their decision-making on who they bring in and who they maybe pass up on. This is just us looking at things factually as we can on February 19th. It's going to be a different conversation on April 19th. But on February 19th, this is what we can work with. Spring ball starts in 2 days, and we'll see what it is. We'll wrap up this conversation. Do you have something to add?
I just saw that we'll have audio from Matt Rule in a second, but I am seeing one thing that's being reported a lot from this press conference is that Nebraska football is moving practices in the spring and the fall to the afternoons. First time they started doing mornings in 2018.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, it has not been very good at Nebraska since 2018.
That is
Scott
true.
Frost changed that from the Mike Riley time and Pelini as well. So maybe it's a different
Afternoon practice,
juju.
baby.
I don't know. He says they're going old school from 2:30 to 6:30 time frame, starting in the spring.
All right.
And in the fall. There's your big news. Some of your news from practice. We'll have more of that.
Afternoon practices back. All right. Instant 9-win season coming up for Nebraska football because they practice in the afternoon.
The winds have changed.
Yeah, exactly. Let's take a break. We round out the show and get you ready for a one-on-one. Austin Norman filling in for DP here today on a Thursday. We will step aside. The drive continues next and finishes up the show here on 93.7 The Ticket.
I'm Alfred Nobel, the inventor of dynamite. So the Nebraska Lottery has asked me to talk about the Cash Blast promotion. Until March 24th, buy a 2x2 ticket and get a voucher. Enter online for a chance to win a $5,000 or $500 weekly prize. If you're winning vouchers from a 7-day draw ticket, your prize is doubled. So when can I explode the dynamite?
No dynamite in the studio, Dr. Nobel.
Well, how about a cherry bomb?
No.
Sparkler?
Sorry.
2x2 top prize odds are 1 in 105,000.
Good morning, Breakers. This is Scott Miller from Midwest Bank. When I recently joined Midwest Bank, I was immediately impressed by our exceptional service. My first customer made the switch from a large corporate bank and didn't have to wait in line or call a 1-800 number. We treated him like family. He now visits the bank just to say hello. While other banks go corporate, we stay Nebraska. Visit us at midwest.bank or drop by a branch today. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Hey guys, this is former UFC fighter and mixed martial artist Anthony Lionheart Smith. The Upside Bar and Lounge in South Lincoln is the go-to spot for every UFC event, prelims, and main card. There's never a cover, so make sure you get there early and stay late. Upside Bar and Lounge has daily specials, a margarita club, and a taco club. And don't forget, they just added Buzz Bowls to their menu. Learn more about upcoming events by visiting UpsideBarLNK.com and stop into their South Lincoln location for every UFC event on 27th and Pine Lake.
Bring your crew, bring your school colors, and bring the noise. On February 22nd, Love Nebraska hosts Love Madison at Baxter Arena for College Night with first serve at 5 p.m. It's student energy meets big match intensity, diving saves, heavy swings, and rallies that refuse to end. Whether you're coming straight from campus or making it a full night out, this is your chance to see Nebraska's pros defend the home court. College Night, Madison in town, Sunday at 5. Lock in your seats now at lovbneb.com/tickets.
Way out there where the sun comes up under the big red sky, I do life the way I love, with family by my side. I feel home with me, no matter where I go.
Proud of where we're from, excited for where we're going. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
If you're tired of the dieting circuit paradox but still want to look, feel, and perform better, you need to get to Nutrition Authority and ask about our nutrition coaching featuring LifeBase. LifeBase takes the complex world of nutrition and makes it simple with real results that last. Stop in to learn more or check us out on mynutritionauthority.com.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking for something different for lunch or dinner in Lincoln? Big 8 is now open at 1226 P Street, serving seafood boils and Asian cuisine. Get your hands messy with fresh, flavorful seafood boils, hot, cold, and made to share. Or enjoy classic Chinese and Asian dishes, perfect for lunch, dinner, or a night out with friends and family. Big flavors, generous portions, and a brand new dining experience. Big 8, now open in Lincoln.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and on behalf of the entire Koppel team, we would like to say thank you to all of our loyal customers and employees that have allowed us to become one of the most successful GM dealerships in the country for the past 50 years. So we are celebrating that with some huge discounts. Right now, we have up to $13,500 off MSRP or 0% APR on select new models, and new Blazer EVs are leasing for $279 a month with zero down. So check us out online at koppelcars.com. All deals with approved credit. See dealer for details.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Hog Wild has a delicious way for you to enjoy beef brisket. It's our open-faced hot beef sandwich. We start with our grilled Texas toast. Add a scoop of creamy mashed potatoes. Load them up with some tender Hog Wild beef brisket and top it off with our tasty brown gravy. It's absolutely delicious. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Hey guys, Nick Sainert here. Join me live from Arlington, Texas, this Friday through Sunday as 93.7 The Ticket covers Husker baseball's appearance in the Amagi Bay College Baseball Series. I'll have pregame and postgame videos on the Ticket's social media pages, as well as commentary throughout Friday's 3 p.m. game versus Louisville, Saturday's 7 p.m. game against Kansas State, and Sunday's 2:30 p.m. game against Florida State. Our coverage from Arlington is sponsored by Diode Technologies, Ben Bleicher of Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador, Scissors and Scotch Lincoln, and Chick-fil-A South Point Pavilions.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O. A new year means it's time to try new things. If you haven't tried Führer's cheese spread yet, the time is now. For the days you don't want to go to the gym, don't worry. Führer's cheese spread is there to cheer you up. And for the days you do get to the gym, why not celebrate when you get back with the best dip around? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Führer's cheese spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. It is The Drive, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert with you to close out a Thursday. As don't forget, coming up next, one-on-one, Austin Orman will have it as I will get ready to make my way down to Arlington, Texas, as Nebraska baseball is getting ready for the big tournament this weekend. They will play Louisville on Friday. They will play Kansas State on Saturday, and they finish out the weekend on Sunday with Florida State. And unbeknownst to me, we have another special guest into the studio. Hello, Jay.
I'm doing all right, man.
How are you doing?
I received a bat signal that you said I needed to come down here and have a conversation with you face to face. Shout out to my man, Dave. DF.
David
AD.
talks a lot,
but we back it up. That's the difference. You what are you, Gen Z?
That is me.
Yeah.
What are you? Are you boomer?
No. I might be after tomorrow, after yesterday. I got my first AARP mailing.
Oh, really?
I didn't
You
reply.
you can get discounts on hotels and stuff with that.
The only good thing is I can move up from the green teas to
That
the
is
gold
not
teas.
the truth.
Yes, it is. I've already checked.
Not when we play.
I am. Me and Dave are going to be up there at the yellow tees.
Don't throw Dave in that. Dave, here's the problem with David. That dude gets out of the cart and he goes, "Hey, Nick, I just had open heart surgery about 3 months ago." Okay, you want me to feel bad for you right now? You're willingly choosing to play out here.
Uh-huh. You have no empathy. That's it.
I'm gonna take money.
Okay.
Take names.
That didn't happen the last time, or actually the last 2 times.
That is true.
Yeah.
Well, I got new irons now.
Oh.
So it's different. It's different. Jay, biggest question I talked about it with Jake, but since you stopped in, biggest question for you ahead of spring ball.
I mean, I guess just it's the easiest ones is probably defense, D-line. I mean, they're just going to have – and then those guys they're implementing the official new scheme of 4-2-5.
Yeah.
And really the big question on the whole team, really, I know I just answered it twice, is just chemistry.
Yeah, is that a concern with like coaching staff too?
Well, yeah, but the only good thing is it goes together.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because they got to do it. The players got to do it and kind of go through the process together. But when you lost it, you're losing some guys that have been around for a while, and this is kind of like the last, like with Javen Wright and those guys, the last of the, the Frost kind of like, the older
the holdovers.
So now it's like, okay. And then you brought in a lot of guys, and especially 3 new linemen, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much a whole new D-line. Ideally, new Riley Van Papa. So, and then new coaches. And so I think it's just, building chemistry.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Matt Rule, speaking of the media, currently it's usually a pretty lengthy one on the first day of press conferences for spring ball. But yeah, there you go. Let's go ahead and round out the show. When we come back, or I should say this is the end of the show, one-on-one, Austin Orman will take it from 11 to noon. Adam Carricker will be in here from 12 to 3. No Bach today. He's under the weather. So we are shuffling around a little bit here. I, unfortunately,
are shuffling out of town.
I said, unfortunately, I would like to help. I would like to stick around.
It's really coming out of your pores that you really would like to help.
I did tell Austin that, I'm normally a guy that tests the airport theory. Have you ever heard of that before?
No.
It's like where you basically will never miss your flight. Like I show up maybe an hour before we're supposed to take off. So, 20 minutes before you board. And I've been good. I mean, the entire time, but there's snow coming today, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of snow coming today at 1:00. Might be smart for me just to get up there.
Yeah, it would be.
So
you better get going.
I haven't packed.
Oh, you're not making it.
So we're up against the clock a little bit here. All right, that's it for us. AD once again out tomorrow. He will be back on Monday. I will be joining the show from Arlington tomorrow morning. Should be an exciting weekend. Remember, thank you to our sponsors, Diode Technology, Scissors and Scotch Lincoln, Ben Bleicher of PRG, BHHS Ambassador Realty, and last but certainly not least, our good friend, guy who I'm going to be hanging out with quite a bit this weekend, Charlie Colon of Chick-fil-A South Point Lincoln. We appreciate them for their support of baseball coverage. Thanks to you guys for hanging out with us on a Thursday. Plenty of stuff coming up on the rest of the day here on 93.7 The Ticket. Austin Norman's got you for the 11 o'clock hour here. I will talk to you tomorrow from Arlington.